Let's get it. Watching the talk back, there was a point in which it seemed like Robyn was finally coming to the realization that she was going to be with this miserable ass man for the rest of her life. The point where she started to think to herself, I made a big mistake. Miscalculations were made, especially when she was talking or dealing with Cody. Now, this is a prime example of when Cody first did the introduction of the talkback, where he was talking about what their parts are, what their roles are in this new series or these extras that they plan on doing. Now, watch Robyn's body language, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
We sit down, we watch an episode, the first episode of the season, and discuss it with each other.
Now, as you can tell, she doesn't look thrilled. She doesn't look excited at all. And initially, I was like, wow, there must be trouble in paradise. But as I thought about it, and especially as the episode went on, it occurred to me that what Robyn was doing was she put on the stank face. For those not familiar, the stank face is when a female, usually it's a female, will put on a hard face or look like she's aggravated or angry or like she doesn't want to be bothered when she doesn't want to be bothered. When she doesn't want to participate in something, whether it's in the club, whether you're in the gym. You see a lot of women walking around with the stank face in the gym with the headphones on because they don't want the guys to mess up their workouts or bother them or, try to talk to them. So they put the stank face on. So when the guy comes over and asks them, hey, girl, how you doing? They give them the, what? Huh? What do you say? Like that thing. And what it does is it discourages any conversation or any participation. Now, when we look at it from the respect of Cody and the this episode, she doesn't want to participate in it. My feelings is because in most of the situations that they have on the series and on the show, because her and Cody don't want to reveal anything about their lives, they're merely reflective or reactionary to other people's lives or situations. She can comment all day about Cody's relationship with Mary, Christine, or Janelle, but she doesn't want to comment or at least demonstrate her relationship with Cody at all. So, because that's the case, most of her situations or most of her input for the show will come off and be deemed as negative because she's always involved with the negative aspects of Cody's life and his living with these other women, especially during the course of their divorces or their breakups. Now, there was a part in this in which Cody was using the whole Janelle doesn't want to have my back and she blames me for the breakdown of the family because she doesn't want to really participate and it's not my fault, etc., etc., etc. And this is the first indication for me that it wasn't that Janelle or wasn't that Robyn was upset with Cody or didn't want to participate with Cody or was frustrated with Cody, because there were several instances, one of which I'll show here, where she went out of her way to support Cody. And she tried to encourage Cody or give him like the layup answers, the alley-oop answers, where she feeds him and says like, ask a question, but trying to get or elicit a certain answer. So she asks a question about the kids. You want the kids around, right? You do want that. That's what you want. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, that's her supporting him. So if she was frustrated with Cody and she was angry with Cody, she wouldn't be doing that. Let's take a look at an example of what I'm talking about, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
As I've sat here and watched our episodes, what I've seen from Janelle is that Janelle is punching a button specifically to make me look bad with the family. It's all about her
You don't want to do Christmas separate.
No, I never wanted to do Christmas
Why
separate.
does she keep saying that?
Because that's what she's telling the boys to get them on her side. She's specifically trying to destroy my character with my family.
Now, as you can tell, for many of us, this is just merely grist in the old mill, because you see her kind of guiding and leading Cody down the path that she wants him to go into. This is something that I actually addressed in my earlier video that I released earlier today, where I talked about the power of association. Robyn is cultivating this negative environment between her and Kody, which is why I think Kody has been reflective of such a negative, downtrodden, angry person. Because when you hang out with somebody who sits around and they feed nothing but your negative or your evil vices, then what happens is you just kind of live in that space. Where Robyn is right now, her form of support is to merely remind Kody of how much of a victim he is. Remind Kody that it's not his fault. Remind Kody that it's Janelle who's causing a breakdown in the family and not him. The walking through when Kody starts to go off trail a little bit, get off track a little bit, she pulls him right back to, oh, well, you didn't want to have separation between you and the kids because that's a big point. Kody has probably received way more heat about how he treats his children than how he treats his wives online. I mean, and in fairness, it does make sense. The relationship is the relationship. Relationships come and they go. So if he started out with Janelle marrying Christine and that relationship didn't work out, then, you know, it ends, and it is what it is. At the same time, because he also pulls out his support of the relationship of his children, now all of a sudden it becomes something much different. It becomes a case where he's bullying or he's mistreating these children because he doesn't get along with these mothers or his exes or whatever you want, however you want to classify, ex-wives or whatever. So because that occurs, he gets a lot more heat because of that. And this is Robyn's way of supporting him and trying to walk him through the answers. Now, there is a point where in part of this conversation, Kody says this, and this is where I think even I got tripped up when Robyn says it, because it seems as though she's given some pushback on some of the things that Kody is presenting.
Sister wife.
Wait, whoa, stop. Sister wife?
Yeah.
You need to stop making this about
Wife, sorry.
sister wives.
Okay, I know. Yeah, well, we had a family that was working together.
I know. Well,
They were trying to blame you and trying to blame me. And all those years in Vegas, we were all working together.
I know, but I'm trying to say you always point out the sister wife relationships and never talk about your actual issues with wives.
Now, again, when I first saw this, I thought that Robyn was finally giving Kody some pushback. Somebody had finally said, Kody, you need to take accountability for your mistreatment in the part you play in the dissolution of your marriages and these relationships. You need to take accountability for what's happening. And that's the feeling I had. But then as I thought about it, it occurred to me that what Robyn was actually doing was defending herself. Because when you talk about when you introduce the idea of the children and the relationship between Kody and his kids, there was a big allegation from Janelle's kids who held Robyn responsible for Kody not coming around and Kody not being a part. So if they just got finished talking about Janelle and the kids and how the kids aren't coming around and this is a problem, and Kody points out the shit sister wife, makes a shit sister wife comment and talk about how she's a bad sister wife, that automatically pulls Robyn into the fold. So now Robyn feels kind of tender because she recognized that the ire will be placed on her. So when she does the whole defense of Kody, you need to stop pulling the sister wives into it, what she's saying is stop bringing me up because they're going to blame me. And I'm going to be the one who's breaking the family up. And Kody, in his own selfish way, because you learn what you learn how to do the thing that they teach you how to do. Robyn is teaching them how to be a victim. So he pulls himself out of the scope of being in the vein of being in trouble or causing a problem or being accountable or being responsible for any misgiving or bad relationships or bad feelings that he may have with his kids. Like, I think that was very interesting. Finally, there was a big explanation as to why he decided to blame the sister wife situation and the justification that he used. Let's take a look at that.
Well, lack of loyalty.
Well, that's different. You need to stop pointing fingers at sister wives.
Sorry, they're sister wives. I'm saying it in the terms of the bigger picture, like the whole family picture, not just my picture, but it's a whole family picture. For me,
And as you can tell, Kody tries to divert it from, oh, I'm trying to think about the big picture. That's an excuse that he always uses. Between the big picture and his experience with COVID are kind of his fallbacks. Before he had experience with COVID and he could talk about how sick he was and how desperate he was and how depressed he was and everything else, he had the I'm thinking about the big picture. And so anytime he had a dispute or disagreement with one of the wives, it's not his dispute, not his disagreement. It's always the sister-wife relationship, and he has to consider the other members of the family. He has to consider his big picture. But the big picture consists only of what is convenient for him, what makes him feel good, and what supports his view of the world and how he wants things to move forward. Anything else is subversive. So if they don't support something that makes him feel good or adds convenience to his life, then they're trying to tear down and destroy the family. Him being in a relationship with Robyn and isolating them away from the rest of the family so that they can live in their own little bubble, and them, the OG3 as well as the OG13, the original kids, for them to complain about it is subversive because it doesn't feed into his narrative. It doesn't support how he feels about it. And in this particular instance, I just wanted to cite this claim that I have, that it's not that Robyn is upset about being on the couch with Kody. She just doesn't want to answer questions. She doesn't want to participate. This isn't something she wants to do. She's not looking forward to it because it doesn't make her feel good, because it doesn't make her look good. I also wanted to point out the fact that at the end of the day, her questioning of Kody and pushing back on Kody was merely done as a means and method to support herself and to protect herself. It had nothing to do with Kody. It had nothing to do with protecting or looking out for Janelle. And it had nothing to do with doing what's right. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. That's my take. I'm James. This has been My Take on Reality, and I'm out.
Yeah.